Hey friends, welcome to Wizardking Horror. Before coming to today's story, I want to tell you that today's story has been done in several parts. This is the part 1 of the story. Now, let's come to today's story. Today's story is about a boy named Joe. He lived with his mom and dad in the city of Mumbai. He worked as a traveling journalist, so he often had to travel from one place to another. One day, his boss called him and asked him to come to Nagpur for an assignment. Nagpur was quite far from where he lived, so he had made all the arrangements. It was getting dark and he was nearing the forest. He looked at the fuel meter on his car. His car was almost out of fuel. Luckily, after some time, he saw a temporary house. It seemed a little weird as the house was in the middle of the jungle, but the thing that made him feel more weird that it was the only house in the entire area. Even after getting a strange feeling, he decided to check it out. So he parked the car and walked towards the house. For a few moments, there was no response. But then, a middle aged couple opened the door. The man stepped forward and asked Joe what he wanted. To which Joe replied, "Sir, my car is out of fuel. So can you tell me if there is any gas station nearby?" After hearing this, the man stared at Joe for some time. And then he let out a dirty grin. That grin, it was so creepy. Now Joe was feeling very scared. So he decided to leave. Suddenly his wife spoke up. "Hubby, come on, stop it. You're scaring him out." Then she turned towards Joe and said, "Hello, son. Well, there is a gas station nearby, but it's getting dark. So driving in the woods, it's not safe. So I suggest that you can stay here for tonight and leave tomorrow morning at once." Joe thought for a while, but then he agreed, thinking that it was just one night. So he will be fine. The man, he grinned again and said, in a gruff voice, "Come in." Joe came in and he was surprised by the glamour of the house. The interior of the house looked quite luxurious, far better than it looked outside. The man spoke up. "Come with me. I will show you to your room. You can rest for a while till the dinner is served." Joe agreed. Joe was kind of feeling a little uncomfortable with the couple, but then he tried not to think too much. Joe was surprised to see the room. It was very luxurious, somewhat like a deluxe room in a five-star hotel. He was very tired, so he hopped straight onto the bed. Then he started thinking about the weird couple, but tried not to think too much as it was just a matter of one night. A short while later, the dinner was served. The dinner table looked fascinating. It was covered with delicious meals. Joe was very hungry, so he started eating immediately. The couple didn't speak anything throughout the meal. Instead, they just grinned looking at Joe. Joe felt a little uncomfortable, but he tried to focus on the food. Joe really enjoyed the meal. When he was done, he thanked the couple and went straight to bed as he was feeling very drowsy. He fell asleep soon and was woken up by a sudden thud sound. It was midnight. Joe was terrified after hearing that sound, but was too afraid to scream. It seemed like the sound of a person stabbing someone with a knife. It seemed that the sound was coming from the kitchen. Though he was afraid, he decided to check what was happening. He walked through the dark hallway and peeped into the kitchen. He was shocked to see the sight. The man and his wife, the couple, faces were burnt and covered with blisters. It looked as if, as if a ghost had come back to life. The man, he had a bloody knife in his hand. He was cutting a strange meat. It was, it was the flesh of a human. The woman, she had a bloody dagger in one of her hands and the severed head of a man in another hand. Joe was so scared after seeing this that he moved back and dropped an expensive vase. It made a loud bang sound. All the lights went on. The man and his wife were alarmed. They spotted Joe. The man quickly picked the bloody knife and charged towards Joe and stabbed him on his chest. Watch the next part of this story to learn what happens next. Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed this story. I'm also here to announce that I will be taking a break for 1 or 2 weeks. So the next part of this story will only be out by the end of this month or next month straight. So if you enjoyed this story, make sure you like, share and subscribe.